Have you ever considered waking up before the crack of dawn on a Saturday morning, heading out into the woods, and not coming home until you've hiked 34.8 miles? Have you ever considered that you might pay for the opportunity to do just that? Well, if you said yes to both of those questions, then you, my friend, might be interested in the Rachel Carson Challenge. The Rachel Carson Challenge is a hiking challenge that's held every June in Pittsburgh, the longest day of the year, which happened to be yesterday, June 21st. And it's an opportunity for hikers to test their skills and determination on an extremely challenging, long, and hilly, very hilly course. Today I'm going to give you some recommendations on what sort of hiking gear and equipment you're going to want to need if you want to try to tackle this adventure. Now, the first piece of equipment that any hiker wants to look at is a nice handy backpack. I do well with this backpack. I just got it at REI. It's a pretty generic backpack. It's got a big main pocket in here, a couple of side pockets going on here. It'll hold some miscellaneous things. Now, the most important thing I think about these backpacks, again, because you're wearing them for 34.8 miles, is that you want to make sure you get one that has a system of front straps that cross your body. Usually one at your waist and one kind of at your shoulder level. This is going to be really important to help distribute the weight of your backpack over your whole torso. If you just utilize the shoulder straps here without these cross straps, it's going to put a lot of stress and strain on just your shoulder and neck muscles here, and that's not going to feel good after 34.8 miles. So you want to cinch all the straps tight, get the weight kind of higher on your back, and get those cross straps engaged to help distribute the weight across your whole torso. Again, most of these backpacks have an inner pocket that is designed for holding a water bladder. I use a water bladder. It's kind of just like this camelback bladder here. You fill it with water. Water is like the lifeblood of a hiker. You're not going to get very far if you get dehydrated, so it's really important that you pack enough water to get you through whatever your adventure is. The nice thing about this bladder is that a hose is attached to it, and there are little exit holes in the backpack so that when you're wearing this on your back, the hose runs along your shoulder strap, and you can drink from the end of this hose, which is really nice and convenient. You don't have to be searching for water bottles, unscrewing lids, maybe losing them in the middle of who knows where. But whenever you're thirsty, you just turn your head and drink out of this little hose here. It's very convenient to keep yourself well hydrated. Another thing that's really useful in the life of a hiker, and for this trail in particular, as I mentioned, it's extremely hilly. We live in Pittsburgh. We know how hilly Pittsburgh is. Something called a hiking pole, hiking poles. These kind of look like ski poles almost. They're pointed here at the end. They have some handles. And these are really handy for dealing with the hills. When you're going uphill, you can kind of stake them in the ground in front of you and utilize your arms to pull you forward as well as your legs to propel you forward. This helps engage your upper body in the action of hiking, taking some of the stress off your leg muscles, which is going to your legs are gonna thank you at the end of 34.8 miles. It's gonna allow your legs to kind of go longer if you try to take some of the work off them. These are also probably more helpful in the downhills. I'm prone to falling, so these are really helpful for that. You can kind of again stake them in the ground in front of you as you're headed down a steep downhill. And if you start to lose your balance or tip forward, you can use these to catch yourself and prevent yourself from falling down the hill. Although I guess that's a tactic you could use if you wanted. Another piece of equipment that I find really helpful is a GPS watch. I like to utilize this Garmin watch personally. This watch tells me a lot of information. I start it when I cross the start line, and this will tell me exactly how many miles I've gone, how long it's taken me to go that far and in total, how long each mile has taken me, what my pace is, so I can determine, am I on schedule, am I going too fast, going too slow, am I reaching my goal times, where am I in this 34.8 mile adventure. I find this extremely helpful. The last thing that you want to consider as a hiker, and probably one of the biggest things you want to consider, is what you're going to wear on your feet. You've got two traditional options. You've got hiking boots versus trail shoes, and there are pros and cons to both of those. Hiking boots are sturdier. They offer you more support. You can go through mud and water pretty easily with them without getting your foot wet. And oftentimes they'll come up above your ankle and offer you some ankle support. The con to that is that hiking boots are heavy and they can be pretty heavy. And when you're hiking 34.8 miles, you want to consider every ounce that you're putting on your body, be it your feet, your pack, and anything. So you want to consider, is it worth it? Personally, I like to hike with a trail running shoe, a running trail shoe, something like this. This is just a Brooks shoe. So since it's a running shoe, it's really light, but it's a trail running shoe, so the bottom offers a little more traction than like a street running shoe. So this does me pretty well on a trail without being too heavy. Hiking's a great way to get some exercise and to appreciate the nature that surrounds this lovely city of ours. Pittsburgh actually does have a lot of green space around here. And I think challenges are a great and rewarding way to test your determination and to achieve goals. The Rachel Carson Challenge combines both of these things, which is extremely great. And I hope that after hearing my recommendations for your hiking gear for this challenge, you will be well on your way to conquering the Rachel Carson Trail and earning the title of finisher for the Rachel Carson Challenge.